Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. Jordanian Hajj pilgrims began arriving in Mdawara, south of Jordan, after completing the greater Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. Director of Ma'an, Health Director at Taysir said health teams received the first group of pilgrims and carried out the required medical tests. The Syrian army and allied forces have come to within 3 kilometers of a government-held enclave besieged by Daesh in the city of Deir el-Zur. State television said Syrian troops were rapidly approaching the city, while dozens of trucks loaded with food stood ready to enter the enclave in the Euphrates city. The Russian Defense Ministry said heavy Russian air cover has helped the Syrian military and allied forces march towards the city. Deir el-Zur's provincial governor said he expected the army could reach the city within hours. Libyan forces have attacked Daesh near the terrorists' former stronghold of Sirte. East Libyan forces said they had launched airstrikes after Daesh militants made incursions south and east of Sirte. Libyan officials said Daesh has grown bolder in recent weeks, setting up temporary checkpoints, attacking local forces and taking over a village mosque during Eid. Meanwhile, France's foreign minister, who is in Libya, met rival political leaders and offered support for a deal aimed at stabilizing the country. His visit is in line with French President Emmanuel Macron's push for a deeper French role in bringing Libyan factions together in the hope of countering terrorists' violence and easing Europe's migrant crisis.
Notre objectif, c'est...
World powers condemned North Korea's latest nuclear test, with some calling for tougher sanctions against Pyongyang. The United States said it was time for the UN Security Council to impose the strongest possible measures on North Korea over its 6th and largest nuclear test. U.S. envoy to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, said the incremental sanctions approach of the 15-member council to North Korea since 2006 had not worked, and she described North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as begging for war. Here's more.
A fiery response from South Korea on Monday after North Korea's massive nuclear bomb test over the weekend. Drills with jet fighters and ballistic missiles taking aim at Pyongyang's nuclear test site. Military exercises with U.S. forces are also in the works. Washington has warned North Korea against any military threats to the U.S. or its allies. But Donald Trump also has stern words for Seoul, tweeting, "South Korea is finding, as I have told them, that their talk of appeasement with North Korea will not work." South Korea's new president, Moon Jae-in, has pushed for talks as a way to resolve the growing nuclear crisis. Meanwhile, North Korea's other neighbors have agreed to, quote, appropriately deal with the test. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin meeting on the sidelines of a BRICS Emerging Economies Summit to coordinate their response. North Korea claims it tested an advanced hydrogen bomb on Sunday, triggering a magnitude 6.3 earthquake, an explosion 10 times more powerful than its last test, raising the stakes in its nuclear standoff with the U.S.
German explosive experts defused a massive World War II bomb in the financial capital of Frankfurt. A compulsory evacuation of 60,000 people had taken place and was Germany's biggest such maneuver since the war, with more than 1,000 emergency service workers helping to clear the area around the bomb. The bomb was discovered on a building site last week. More than 2,000 tons of live bombs and munitions are discovered each year in Germany, more than 70 years after the end of the war. In the U.S., a smattering of rain and easing temperatures helped more than 1,000 firefighters battling the largest wildfire in Los Angeles history gain the upper hand on the blaze. But officials warned that danger remains. Shifting winds could cause burning embers to spread the fire once more. The nearly 2,400-hectare La Tuna fire has destroyed 3 homes and damaged 1, while more than 700 homes were evacuated. California's governor declared a state of emergency for Los Angeles County, which will ease the path for state and federal help to fight the fire. In sports, Czech Petra Kvitova beat Wimbledon champion Garbine Muguruza in the U.S. Open fourth round. Kvitova took the set in the tiebreak 7-6, 6-3. Venus Williams beat Carla Suarez Navarro 6-3, 3-6, 6-1 after taking comfortable control of the game in the third set. Williams plays Kvitova in the next round. Britain's Blake Aldridge won at the Texas stop of the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. Aldridge's 4 dives scored a total of 399.95 points. On the women's side, Aussie Rhiannon Iflin's 4 dives gave her a total score of 315.60. And finally, it will be fair tonight with 21 degrees Celsius, while tomorrow a high of 33 degrees is expected in Amman. The Gulf of Aqaba should expect hot weather tomorrow with a high of 41 degrees, northwesterly moderate winds and calm seas. With this, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Dana Abu Sham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.